Yeah, my Travel Wins podcast today, I'm lucky to have Cathy Cardenas. How are you today, Cathy?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing excellent. Cathy, you own Cathy Cardenas Public Relations Firm?
Yes,
is there
I do.
A better, I was going to just say PR, but then I want to make sure everyone knows what PR is.
Yes, it is public relations.
How's your day going today so far?
Good. Only because I'm not on an airplane. I'm actually on the ground for 1 full week, so I've been kind of enjoying it.
You know, it's interesting. I never thought of the negatives of starting my podcast about talking to business travelers until I started trying to get a hold of business travelers because they're always traveling.
Yeah, they are. I agree.
So, I know for me, I didn't think, you know, when I think of business travelers, I don't go, oh, public relations. But then it kind of all made sense when I started following and seeing what you do. I'm like, oh, it makes perfect sense that you would have to travel.
Yeah. I think when I'm traveling a lot, that means I'm doing a good job. If I'm not going anywhere, that means I'm not booking anything for clients. So yes, traveling is usually a very good sign of a successful PR business.
But I do the same thing. I always tell my wife, I go, if I'm not on the road, I'm not making money.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's not completely true, but I mean, for the most part, you know, my job is selling goods, so I can only do that from being out in the stores.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for anyone that doesn't know exactly what a public relations firm does, what do you provide?
So I do public relations and management for clients. So what I do is I handle all of their appearances, all of their press interviews. So when you see someone on the cover of a magazine, it's my job to put them there. When you see somebody doing a sit-down interview on a TV show, that's what I do. I make that happen. Same with, you know, magazine features, radio interviews, radio shows. That's kind of what I handle for them. And then for some clients, I do all of their management. So I actually oversee their branding and their marketing and also all of their, I help some of them to get like their own TV shows or their own podcast or different things like that, their own magazine columns. So I oversee a lot more than just individual PR for them. A lot of clients, I fully manage all of their marketing and promotion.
That makes sense. That's why you're traveling so much.
Yeah.
How much traveling do you do on average per year?
Oh, it really varies. It varies a lot. It's hard to say. I'm usually gone. I would say I travel 2 to 3 times a month, but lately it's been every single week, sometimes multiple cities in 1 week. That's just a lot of airplanes and a lot of airport time. But it's just, you know, it's been a busy time. It really depends on, you know, which client, what I'm traveling for.
Right.
So certain times of the year are just busier. If I have athlete clients, then during NBA or NFL season, it just gets busier for certain, you know, during those sporting seasons. So yeah, it all kind of varies.
So, I mean, but your traveling is completely varied, right? I'll give you an example. I have certain accounts that I travel to 4 times a year every season. So for the most part, my traveling is to the exact same places. But I think with yours, it's kind of all over.
Yeah, I'm all over, depending on what client, who's booked them, what they've got going on, what event they're part of. So yeah, I'm like coast to coast every single month, somewhere in between. I mean, I do go back and forth to LA a lot just because that's obviously a big area for award shows and other events, you know, big TV shows, national TV shows. But yeah, sometimes I'll be in New York. You know, I just had a client on the Today Show in New York, and then I just had a client doing a Hallmark Home and Family in LA. So I'm really back and forth all over the place and everything in between. It's kind of fun. I get to see a lot of cities I hadn't seen before. I got to spend some time in Chattanooga last year, which I had never seen. So things like that. It's a beautiful little town. It was beautiful.
I like Chattanooga. Yeah.
Yeah. It was very. You know, I live in Phoenix, so there's not much green here. So Chattanooga impressed me with all of their greens. Yeah, I don't
completely different, right? Because I flew to Nashville, and I opened up a store down in Chattanooga, and so I drove from Nashville down there, and it was interesting because it's an hour different than Nashville for one. Because you cross the time zone, the time change.
Yeah.
From central to eastern. But it was just green everywhere, just trees, rivers, totally different.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So I do get to see a lot of things that, like I said, I wouldn't normally get to. I definitely, with my job, you know, I get to have experiences that other people, you know, going backstage at the ESPYs or the music awards or things like that other people just would never get to experience, which is kind of neat too. So the travels take me all over with all kinds of different experiences. So
there's a lot of negatives downtimes in airports, delayed flights, rental cars, and all the other issues. But then you have the real big perks of, like you said, being backstage at the ESPYs and that type of thing.
Yeah, and that's one thing I have to say that I've kind of done away with is rental cars. I really just, for me, I just Uber. I just do Uber or car service, and sometimes, it can be less, it can be more, but it just seems to be one less thing I have to deal with. I'm also big about carrying on. Like I try to, my trips luckily are 2 days long, 2 or 3 days, sometimes longer, but so I just, again, avoiding waiting in some line is very appealing to me now. So I try to cut down my time that I have to spend in the airport or in a line at the airport as much as I can.
So I'm assuming you're TSA pre or clear?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. TSA pre saved me because I fly out of LAX, which can be anywhere, any day of the week.
Yeah. And I've kind of found for me, it's like, I just think it's just any airport, any day of the week, any airline, it just doesn't matter. You can have really great flights, you can have really bad flights. I used to think there was just one great airline, and now I'm like, I think they're all, it just depends. You just never know. It's kind of like gambling, when you go, you just never know what you're going to get till you get there. And luckily, I have to say, the majority of the time, I do not have a delayed flight. I don't have connection issues. I've never had anything canceled at the airport, so I'm really lucky for someone who flies as much as I do. I feel blessed that I don't have a lot of these issues I see other people have.
You do realize you just jinxed yourself, though, right?
Right, exactly. Thanks. I'm leaving on a flight in a few days, so great. I'll expect it to be delayed.
I had I think 3 days. It was 3 or 4 days in Denver, and then I was flying down to Dallas to open up a store down there. And I always said the same thing, like, I've been lucky, I'm great. And all of a sudden, a 3.5 hour delay to Dallas brought me into. I got into Love Field after midnight, and all the car rentals closed at midnight, and I had already paid for my rental. So then I had to Uber to my hotel at night at 1 in the morning, and then wake up, Uber back to get my car rental because I'd already paid for it. And then go to work that same day.
Oh, yeah. I know. It is a pain. It was a couple hours can make a difference in your whole day. I just had that recently happen where, imagine this, a 1 hour flight. Somehow I get there late to the airport. So I have a carry-on, and then they tell me because I was boarding, the last to board. I'm, racing to make the flight. They're like, it's full. We have to check your bag. I'm like, ugh. I don't want to check it because I just avoid checking it all the way around. So what happens? Sure. Somehow they managed to lose my bag. They lose my bag, and this is in the evening. It went to Seattle, so guess what? I literally had to go to CVS. I made the Uber driver. I paid him cash extra to take me to a couple stores, so I had to go to clothing stores. I had to buy some clothes. I literally had nothing. I didn't even have my makeup because everything was in my bag. In the
carry-on, sure.
Yeah, I actually spent, I didn't even know it was possible to spend $222 at CVS.
That's awesome.
It is. And I know, I was like, I haven't bought drugstore makeup since high school. I feel like I could have done a tutorial after. I'm like, I don't know how to make any of this work. These are not the right brushes. This is terrible stuff. But I managed to make it work and had a decent outfit until my bag showed up the next day at 1 o'clock. I had to go back to LAX and get it. It was, it's amazing so now my new thing is I'm going to just carry certain things in my purse because I want to save a little money at CVS if that ever happens again. But yeah.
Hey, there's good money in makeup tutorials though.
Yeah, right? I know. I could, a drugstore makeup tutorial, how to do it. I felt I managed. I probably didn't look that great, but at least it was something versus nothing. Yeah.
my next door neighbor, literally, that's all he does is makeup tutorials.
Oh, really?
It's what he does for a living.
Wow. I don't think I'm that good at anything that anybody would want to watch me do it.
I'll send you his link.
All right.
And, he's his boyfriend videotapes him and does all the editing and all that, but he gets makeup packages to his door every day from companies, from Too Faced and Sephora and
I know some influencers companies like that. I would love to get those packages at my door every day, but
that's what my wife says. My wife goes, "You think he'd miss him?" I go, "I don't know."
Yeah, right. Go over there and see what he doesn't want. I know those guys. They have a lot of stuff left over. I would go asking.
Tons of stuff. Well, my daughter worked for a celebrity, and when she was in college, and then she actually worked for the celebrity's sister when she graduated, and so did that for about 1.5 years, and got a lot of free stuff the same way.
Oh, I'm sure.
They get shipped. Well, I mean, some of your people get shipped stuff too. I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's kind of weird how that works.
That's part of what I do. I help them get stuff shipped to them.
Yeah.
I need, I need to get myself some stuff shipped too. But yeah. So,
I hear you. Like I said, my wife goes crazy. It's like, he's not using all that stuff.
Yeah, right? I know. Yeah, they don't use it all. They have it sitting in a drawer that you could be using. Tell her that. She should really go ask.
No, and he literally gets, I'd say on a light day, 2 to 3 packages. On heavy day, 6, 7 boxes of stuff.
Oh, wow.
Just makeup. But yeah, 400,000 followers and
all that
kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, I only have like 4,000, so I guess I'm not getting that much. I'm not going to get anything free.
Well, and he compares himself to, do you know Patrick Starr?
Yep.
That name?
Yeah, I just actually met him. Yep, I know exactly who he is.
So my next door neighbor hangs out with him.
Oh, wow.
But Patrick Starr has 4.7 million or 4.3 million or whatever.
Yeah.
So my next door neighbor looks a lot really similar in appearance to what Patrick Starr looks like when he goes out.
Oh, okay. All right.
That kind of makeup.
Yeah. Well, Patrick is very nice, I have to say too. We just met him at the Billboard Music Awards, I think, is where we met him. On the red
he came by a couple months ago. I met him real quick. Just one of the advantages of living in Los Angeles, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure you probably see a lot of people.
I do, and I avoid. I don't avoid them, but I don't go out of my way to ever bother them.
Yeah, that's probably good. They probably appreciate that.
I don't know. Like I said, my daughter worked for very, very, very super famous sisters, and saw all that stuff.
Yeah. No, it happens a lot. I have celebrity clients, so it is tough when they're out, and it's tough because they just want to enjoy their lunch or be out, and people stop them, and it's hard. It's very hard.
Whenever I would drive up through the valley, and I would call my daughter or text my daughter and say, "Hey, do you have time for lunch?" And sometimes she would come down from the house because she was a PA for him, and the lady she worked for couldn't even go down to the gas station, couldn't go down to get coffee, couldn't go down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that would suck.
Yeah, that would be really hard. Yeah, I would not want to live that life for sure.
Yeah. What's the hardest part about traveling for you?
I think, I have a daughter who's 16, so I think it's hard. It was really hard leaving her. That's why I try to keep my trips really, really short. So that's probably the hardest. But I think I just, I like to sleep in my own bed. I like to just, people laugh because they think I'm like this jet setter, but it's like I'm actually really a homebody. Like I really enjoy being home. Like when I'm home, I really don't leave my house, or my little neighborhood. Like I really don't go out because I'm just gone so much that when I'm home, I just really like to be home. So I think just not being home is really, part of it.
Yeah.
But I really hate airports. I really hate, I feel like it just it eats up so much of my time to travel. It's like I just could be doing so many more things. And for me, it's hard. I was just talking to somebody about this. Lately I couldn't figure out why I was so kind of exhausted. And I realized it's basically like lately it's like I'm trying to run a company, work a full-time job, all while being on vacation 3 or 4 days a week. Because though I'm not on vacation, when I travel, I might as well be because I'm so busy with clients that I can't get my regular job done. The office stuff that needs to happen and the other day-to-day client stuff that needs to happen. So it's been really, really hard. So that's one of the other problems that, comes with the traveling. It's just, I was driving yesterday by the airport and I saw a plane going over and I was like, oh, it's so nice that I don't have to be on a plane this week. So this is the first time in a long time.
I do the same thing. One of the things that I don't think people realize, like for me, I do a lot of driving because I have all my samples and all that. But I mean, today was 6.5, almost 7 hours of driving, 2-hour plus appointment. And yet I still have all my regular work to get done. So when I get to the hotel, I'm not done for the day. I just have to enter on all the orders. I have to email back people. I have to, contact people. And, the length of days are very long.
Yeah, it almost doubles your work week in a way because you've got this, you've got to get back to do the regular stuff.
Exactly.
After you've been out, all day on a set with a client or filming or doing, whatever events you have going on. And a lot of these events are, you watch it on TV and it looks like it's 2 hours, but it's not really. I mean, you've got a carpet that starts, a red carpet 3 hours before, and you've got an after party and prep time. So basically your whole day is shot. You can't get anything done on a big event day because starting at 11 in the morning, you've got stuff going on. So yeah, it's, and doing those award shows almost every single month. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of the people I talk to, we all have that similar thing where, I haven't even posted the episode yet, but I talked to a guy named Dave Eichinger, and he works for New Era baseball caps.
Uh-huh.
So all the baseball caps you see in Major League Baseball and the NFL, his company makes them.
Yeah, I'm familiar with New Era. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So his job is team services. So he goes to spring training. He sets up all the teams with all their. He measures the players' heads, and he's the one at the All-Star games that's down on the field handing out the caps. And he actually has the coolest job 2 days a year. He gets to be at the Super Bowl to hand out the winning baseball caps on the field, and the World Series.
Yeah.
So he's the guy down on the field. Yeah. But he was just telling me he's going to the All-Star game with 5,000 caps.
Yeah.
And he's been planning it for just under a year. Like they're already starting to talk about the next All-Star game.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my first New Era cap Super Bowl week when I was there in Houston a couple of years ago. That's where I got my first New Era cap, so that's why I'm familiar with them.
Yeah,
they were handing them out. Yeah. Yeah.
I met him at the rodeo in Vegas. He was there for the winter meetings, and he had a break, and he just walked around, and we had a mutual friend that I was talking to at the time, so it's kind of a small
very nice.
Yeah.
No, that's what's great about traveling. You meet all kinds of people from all walks of life. I love it. I love getting to meet. I always meet great people on a flight. I always meet great people in the airport. I actually do enjoy that part of it because I like getting to know people and meet people. So that is one. You always get the amateur flyers that you didn't wish that you met on the flight, as we all know. But we'll call them the amateur flyers. But yes, there's always a few of those. But most of the time, at least I meet great people. So
that's. I was going to ask you because I asked you what's the worst part, which is being away from your family. Which is I have two daughters. My daughters are older now; they're 24 and 25. But when they're in high school, I remember being the same way. Like I want to get back because she has a lacrosse game at on Saturday. So I always try to make my travel schedule around their schedule, and now I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
So
no, that's good. No, I'm glad. My daughter's older. It'd be really hard to travel like this with little kids. That would just be too much. I don't think I could do that. But at least she's busier with her own stuff going on too, so that helps. When she's got stuff going on, so I don't feel so bad. Like she's sitting here all day waiting for me. She's out doing her own stuff, so that helps a little bit. But yeah, I try to keep my trips short. I try to keep them short to get back to her. Yeah,
I mean it's just part of it. And then, like I said, if she goes to college or when she graduates high school, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't have to check in with you anymore.
I know, right?
Pretty cool.
Now I can stay extra days. Yeah, I can stay longer if I want to, or things. I don't know. I'm such a homebody. I don't know that I would ever want to be gone for a very long time, but at least now I won't have the guilt, I guess, associated with it.
What I try to do now that when my daughter's gotten to college, what I would try and do is schedule. I would take like an extra half day or a 3/4 day. So instead of like leaving it in the morning, I would leave at night, and then I would take that time to drive around Louisville or Nashville or Chattanooga or wherever, and actually go and see things that are. Because I would go places and I come back and they go, oh, did you go see Mount Hood? And I'm like, no, I went up there. I went to work.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you should have gone to the Louisville Bat Company Factory Tour Museum. I'm like, oh, you're right. I should have. Shit.
Yeah. That's my regret. Every time I go to a city, I'm like, man, I wish I could have seen that. I wish I could have done that. So,
yeah.
Just when we were in Nashville for the CMT Awards, Mickey James, my client, and I, we were like, oh, we're going to go to the Johnny Cash Museum. Yeah, right. That never happened. There's like no time. There's no time to go see stuff. So, yeah.
And that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Because I went to Louisville, and I went there the first time, and I didn't see anything. And then I had to go back for another, I think it was the Farm Machinery Show. And I went back, and because my friends were like, did you go to the Muhammad Ali Museum? I'm like, oh, my God, you're king. It's there? I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess that's where he's from. So I took a half day and went to all that stuff. It's pretty cool.
Oh, nice. I'll have to try that.
I went up to North Dakota, opened up a store there, and so I drove down to see Mount Rushmore.
Oh,
because I'm like,
very nice.
I don't plan on ever going back to North Dakota again. So
might as well see it while you can. Yeah, that would be worth
now.
Seeing. Yeah.
So
I'm a traveler that travels a lot and sees nothing, I feel like, most of the time.
Yeah, but you meet a lot of good people.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think that's the win out of it.
Yeah, no, I do meet great people. Every flight, I feel like I meet somebody great. So it's lots of connections met that way. Picked up a client that way. One of my NFL players, I ended up sitting next to his wife on a flight, and that's how it happened. We ended up connecting, and now I do his PR. So it's just, you just never know. You never know who you're going to meet.
That's exactly. I mean, I sat down. There was a show called Whale Wars, like maybe 5 to 10 years ago, and they're part of that Greenpeace conservation and all that, called the Sea Shepherd. And I was coming back from Nashville actually, and I was sat down next to the CEO of Sea Shepherd, and we started talking, and it was kind of neat just to pick his brain.
Yeah.
So
no, it's great. I love meeting all kinds of people.
How much? I have two other questions I'd like to ask you. One is,
okay,
when you get most of your clients. Well, you have some young clients that probably haven't traveled too much. Do you spend time talking to them about what to expect when they're on the road, or how to schedule things and plan things, or
no? I think for me, most of my clients already kind of do their own traveling. I think,
okay.
I think they're already kind of doing their own traveling, and that's kind of, and then we do a lot of traveling together. So yeah, I think I haven't had too many clients that really, haven't traveled. Maybe a couple. I do have one client that's new to traveling, and I was trying to fill her in on the the Uber app works, and how certain travel apps, like I love Skiplagged, and I do have. I guess she's not really young, but she is new to traveling, and so I have been able to share a lot of tips with her. But I share a lot of travel tips with a lot of people as far as sites go and where to get the cheapest hotels and those sorts of things, just because I'm always looking, for the best deals on travel. And so I feel like I've found some good places.
Well, what are they? Let's share them.
Yeah, well, I love Skiplagged. It's really great to get really cheap flights. They also have super cheap hotels also. One of my other favorite hotel apps is called Rocket Miles, because what you do when you book with them, you can get up to like 10,000 flyer miles also. So I like to use that app sometimes if I want to build up my flyer miles. And so that's a good one.
Yeah.
And then I've noticed lately for hotels, like I used to not go on hotels.com a lot, but I've noticed lately that they are the cheaper. They have the cheapest, like some of the cheaper hotels. So I kind of steered away from that for a long time, and now I've been kind of back to hotels.com. Lately I found that they've had the cheapest.
Yeah, one of my other buddies was talking about hotels.com too.
Yeah, so that's a good one. And then, obviously Hotels Tonight's always good too. Just depending if you can wait that long, because you never know what you're going to get. Sometimes it's hit and miss. But yeah, so no, those are a couple of my favorites. I probably Rocket Miles is my favorite just because I get those extra airline miles while I'm staying at the hotel.
I'm gonna have to look into that one.
Yeah. Even if I don't use that flight, even if I don't I use American, even if I'm flying Delta there, I still get American points on that hotel.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that one.
Yeah.
I use like the Hilton Honors. I use a lot, especially when I go over to Hawaii. I'll stay at a lot of the Hiltons that are over there for my territory.
Yeah. No, Hilton, the Honors is great too. I tried it now, with that, I always try to stay at a Hilton. But again, it just depends on what's available and where I need to be. It's all about location for me, especially since I choose to try to Uber. But luckily when I'm going in for something, I'm not, going all over the city from multiple cities. I'm usually going in for one or two things that are all in the same space.
Hit and go, right?
Yeah. So I can just go in, do what I need to do, and then head back to the airport.
Gotcha.
Just like Monday, I'm flying to LA on Monday for the NBA Awards, and I will literally be in and out the same day. I land at noon. I'm back on a flight at 8:30 that night.
Then I've had those, but mine are in Denver, because that's where our corporate office is. So I've had customers I've had to meet at our warehouse and then fly back that same day. Yeah,
that's hard for me. That's a rough one. I don't really like that, but I do it if I need to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You do what you got to, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you listen to or fill your time with when you have your air miles and you're sitting in the airport? Or do you listen to music? Do you listen to podcasts? Do you download movies?
Yeah, so I listen. I listen to music. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I have Pandora, Spotify, and I love kind of like, I probably have like my Reba McEntire station or my Garth Brooks station. Like I kind of like older country, but that's kind of what I like when I'm just there. I probably should listen to more podcasts, but sometimes when I just get that little bit of time to just chill out and not have to think, I just like music a little bit. And so even on the airplane, I just kind of listen to music. I mix it up what I listen to, but that's probably what you'll most of the time hear me listening to. So yeah, it's, I know I probably should do some more podcasts, but
yeah. I used to listen to a lot more podcasts until I started my own.
Yeah, right.
Like now I just want to listen to music.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So no, that's what I do. Yeah, no, I don't really. Sometimes on a long flight or something, maybe I'll watch a movie to help kind of the time go by. But most of the time, I'll just do emails and listen to music. That's kind of my thing. It's just a little bit of quiet time.
Yeah, obviously, like I said, literally today I'm going to do about seven hours of driving, and so I live on my Sirius radio because
Sirius. That's good. That's good to have Sirius radio.
Yeah, because I'll listen to comedy, I'll listen to some country, I'll listen to some rock, I'll listen to some 80s, I'll go to CNN and make sure the world hasn't ended yet, and then I'll switch back to comedy. But it's just nice because I don't have to find stations.
Yeah.
As much driving as I do.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, exactly. It's nice to have that variety. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then, like I said, it's funny. I used to listen to a lot of different podcasts, and then now I don't.
Yeah. Right? I know it's different when you're doing it. You're like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's I would imagine it's like, you, how many award shows have you been to in your career?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. So many. So many. I don't know. 40 maybe.
So you don't get fandomed anymore, right? As much?
I don't get what?
Like fandomed, where you go, oh my God, that's Bradley Cooper, or oh my God, that's Drew Brees, or that's what.
Yeah, no, it's very rare that I, I think, in fact, during the Billboard Music Awards, I actually left halfway through the show during Madonna, and I went and got my phone charger from the hotel and then came back. Yeah. I'm so over the award shows. They're fun and they're awesome for clients, so I'm there, but for me personally, I'm just like, I'm good. But yeah, no, I don't think I freak out too much. We did meet Kelly Clarkson recently, which was kind of fun. So there's a couple of fun people that are fun to see. But yeah, I don't think there's anybody that I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, I think I probably have seen them all at this point.
Well, I think the award shows are a figment of everyone's imagination as well. Meaning, I'd never been to one, so like whatever I saw on TV is what I thought they were until I went to one. And I went, oh, it's just a show. It's like, because in between the commercial breaks and all that, people are running out, setting up the stage and this and that, and they're talking to the crowd. Oh, and my daughter we got tickets to the MTV Movie Awards.
Oh, yeah.
A couple years back, and we went to it, and I'm like, oh, this is like, it's not like happening live. It's like they're literally filming this.
They pre-tape it a couple hours ahead of time. So the people have left the arena by the time it hits TV. Yeah. Well,
and like 21 Pilots came out, and they were talking. I forget the lead singer's name. He was talking to the crowd saying, "Hey, when this part comes up, I want everyone to try and jump." And because we weren't all 21 Pilot fans, so we didn't know the song. So he wanted the crowd to do certain things in different parts. But so he was directing the crowd. It was kind of interesting. But when you watch it on TV, you're like, oh, it looks spontaneous. So this wasn't what I expected.
Yeah. No, it's very, very different. It's very different. It's very, very chaotic, but fun. It's always fun. It's always fun to, they're always great shows and it's always great entertainment. So they're fun. They are fun. I'm certainly not over here complaining, but but I don't know that I would rush out.
I always tell people there are worse jobs.
Yes, that's true.
I have to work at the rodeo in Vegas every year. And everyone's like, oh, you're so lucky. I'm like, it's 16 days in a hotel in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
A long time in Las Vegas after 10 years.
I can barely do 2 or 3 days tops for me in Vegas, so I can't imagine. I know I just recently had to do like 5 days in Vegas, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is too much.
Yeah.
So I can imagine 16 would be very tough.
Yeah, so the first week, everyone's pumped up and excited, and then the second week, everyone's like, oh my God, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
Like, okay, hit my, except for the young people. The ones in their 20s, they're like, let's go out. And I'm like, no.
You're right. You're like, no, it's 9 o'clock. It's my bedtime.
No,
go out.
I have a couple people that work for me at my booth, and cause I run the Mandalay Bay booth for my company. And I go, look, I don't care what you do from 6 at night till 8 in the morning. I don't care. But at 8 in the morning, be down in the lobby.
Yeah.
And I have a couple ones that don't go to sleep, like a couple days in a row where they won't sleep. And I'm like, weren't you wearing that yesterday? And like, oh, yeah, I'll change when I get to the booth. I'm like, oh, my God, you didn't go to sleep. So they stay up.
Yeah.
Like, woo. That makes for a long trip. But, you know, they live in Wyoming, so coming to Vegas for them is
it's exciting. Yeah, compared to Wyoming, yeah. I see that.
It's all relative, you know. So
yeah.
It's all good. What advice would you get? I don't even know. How do you get started in PR? How does that happen?
So it's kind of a funny story. So my background's radio and television media, and then I used to own a real estate kind of related company that I did all my own PR for, and it got a ton of PR. And so when I sold that, I didn't know what I was going to do, and a friend approached me. He's an entertainment attorney, and he was like, hey. And at this point, I've been kind of doing a little PR just here and there for a couple friends and some couple of, it wasn't just for free. It wasn't even charging anyone. I was just doing it kind of to help friends out for golf tournaments and events. And he called me and said, hey, I'm bringing this group to town, and I want you to help me do the PR. And I was like, oh, I don't know, who is it? And he's like, it's Lucha Libre. And I'm like, what the hell's a Lucha Libre? I didn't even know what that was. And I'm half Mexican. I didn't even know what a Lucha Libre. He goes, like Nacho Libre. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I was like, well, why not? I'll just do it. We'll see how it goes. Well, I ended up getting them so much press that it ended up being their highest paid, highest attended event ever in the history of Lucha Libre for them. So they were like, do you want to come work for us? And I was like, no, I don't want to work for anyone. And they're like, if you start your own PR company, we'll be your first client. And here I am, 7.5 years later, still working with some wrestlers, no luchadors, but I do have some wrestlers on my roster, and loving it. And, I'm very blessed. 95% of my business is referral. And that's I'm still here, and I'm loving it. I wouldn't change it for anything. So it all kind of worked out the way it was supposed to, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of life. I always take it. That's just life. I mean, I look at all the steps that I went through, kind of similar to you, where it's like, everyone's like, how did you end up selling Western clothing and you live in the beach?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm one of the few people, I go, thank God for the crash of 2007. Because of that, I had to switch careers in life, and I got the job I have now, which I love.
Yeah. No, I mean, you got to live in a beach town. I mean, you can't beat that.
Well, it's not just living in the beach town, but like having the job I have, I get to travel all. I'm a sales rep in title, but like I have stores that have been buying products from our company for 50 years.
Oh wow.
So I don't. Stetson's been around since 1865, so it's not like I'm pitching, gum or whatever. I mean, my stores have to carry branded products. And I carry a well-known branded product. So when I call them up, I'm not like, hey, I'm coming up next week. What's good for you, Tuesday or Wednesday? They go, let's come by Wednesday. Okay, what time? Oh, whenever you get here. Okay. I mean, that's literally my job.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice.
So, but all because of this, at the time I was very, very upset with the 2007 crash. But it worked out for the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, we'll see. It led you into something better. I know. I agree. Those are the best ways when it works out that way, when something just naturally happens.
Yeah. Well, that's a cool story with how you got the PR firm going, though.
Yeah. And I would have probably never started it had it not happened that way. I don't know what I would have done, because after selling the other company, but it, I guess this is what I was supposed to do. I love it. I absolutely love helping my clients. It's we have a lot of fun, but I love bringing them the joy of, being on a magazine cover or getting on the Today Show or, those kind of opportunities are just really amazing. And I love every one of my clients who are so grateful for all the press they get. And so I love it. It makes my job easier having such great clients.
Do you think is it just like, I hope you don't mind. I know I'll wrap this up, but I'm just really curious. A lot of the people you deal with are the best at what they do, whether it's sports, entertainment, singing, wrestling, but they're not necessarily good at finding out how to get on the Today Show or whatever. So, I mean, they need you in that sense.
Yeah, because I think people, yes, every once in a while you get a super big star, but there's, that I'm sure that publicist can just sit there all day and let the calls come in. But most of the time, even bigger name stars, like there's so much competition. There's really so many influencers and celebrities, and there's only so much media. So it's really important to have someone like me on your team that's constantly pitching you and sharing ideas and getting you on the shows, because they're not necessarily, I wish my phone blew up all day and I didn't have to do anything. That would be nice. But even with big clients on my roster, it's not the case. Occasionally you get people calling you, but most of the time I'm the one calling and pushing and pitching and presenting ideas. And that's how it happens. That's how my clients get on the big shows, is that because I put the call in and I put the pitch in and made it happen.
Yeah, so like if they have a book coming out or something coming up, you want to try and make the
otherwise
rounds
it'll
as
just
possible.
sit there. Yeah, if they don't go out and promote it, the book will just sit there on the shelf, and there's the chances of people just calling them up about it are pretty slim. So you definitely need somebody out there pushing it constantly and presenting it and pitching it and putting together a tour for you.
I guess, and that's what I was asking about. Like, if you set up a tour, hey, XYZ, you need to be in New York for this show, and then I need you, are you setting that up, or do they do part of it, or?
Nope, I do it all. I do it all. I have spreadsheets. Spreadsheets and calendars. That's what keeps my sanity. Yeah. So, I have schedules for each client, and we go in and kind of put in their dates and availability, and then we just start filling those up, whether it's a call-in or it's an in-town appearance or whatever it is. We just start going through and filling it up for clients each month.
So not only do you have your own schedule, you have all of your clients' schedule in your head.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
It must be a hard place to live.
Yeah. That's why I have the spreadsheets, because if I tried to keep it all in my head, I would lose my mind. So, yeah, that way I can see what everybody's got going on every single day all in one place.
And that's a 365 job, right? I mean.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
All the time.
There's no holiday, because you probably get more stuff done on holidays.
Yeah, I work 7 days a week, but you know what? I wouldn't change it for anything. I love it. I love it. I can just come and go when I want and do my own thing and work my own schedule and not have to answer to anyone. So I will, take that over anything else any day.
I 100. A lot of my friends will be like, hey, but Pete, I see you working on Saturday or your Sunday, or you're flying here. I'm like, yeah, but compared to what? I've had so much worse jobs. I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever you compare it to. So that's cool, though. I mean, do you ever take on interns, or do you give advice to people that say, hey, I want to be a PR person when I grow up?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to a couple people before. People that have, I meet a lot of people, so they're like, oh, my daughter's thinking about PR, and brought, will you talk to her? So I've definitely, chatted with some people, mentored a few people, and had a couple interns. But yeah, no, I always love to give advice if I can. I don't know, if I'm always the expert, but I love to try to help where I can and give any insight into it.
Yeah, I mean, I have the same thing. I've had people reach out to me on LinkedIn and other places saying, hey, I want to be an apparel rep. What do I do? Right. And that's kind of where I started the podcast. Was people would always ask me questions like, how did you figure out where to stay, and what's the best way to travel? So I started talking to other people about it. And like I just got a couple of good app Rocket Mile suggestions from you. So
yeah. Yeah, well, I'm sure you probably learn a lot from all your interviews.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. And what's the best way for people to reach out and find you?
Yeah, just on my website, cathycardenas.com. And, so you can see all my services and clients and a little bit about what I do and who I am.
I'll definitely put the link on my website so people can just go there and click over and find you. Make it easy for them.
All right, that'd be great.
So, I truly appreciate the time. I'm glad I caught you in between your flights.
Yes. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you having me. It was fun.
Thanks, Cathy. I'll talk to you
soon. All
soon.
right. Safe travels. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.